Welcome back to Timeline Ranch. It is morning time. Got a decent sunrise. Share that with y'all and go over what we're doing today. It's interesting to be almost eye level with the water and not be wet. So down here in the exploratory pond hole, there's no water seeping through. Well, I say that, but there's right here. It's a little moist there. It's not clay though, it's a rock, little rock. Well, I'm gonna see how much deeper in here I can get today. That's the big goal. A pretty good pile of spoils up there already. Guess I'll come in and tear out another layer and then drag that pile up on top of the rest of it that's up there and pull out what's in here and keep going like that. So I got 4 feet deeper yesterday. You know, I was already at this point. Maybe I can get another 7 feet today. We'll see. Yeah, the rock layers here are all kinds of different directions, is why it's so hard to get in here. You can see these are kind of coming like that, and then they turn and go that way. That one over there's going down at that angle. This one's horizontal. Well, looks like the sun's officially over the mountain. Well, let me get to work. I was fixing to drive this thing up there and check the tracks. And look what it did. Well, looks like I'm putting a track back on. Lucky me, huh? Well, what to do here? It's off on both of them. I think what I'm gonna try to do is just go ahead and drive out of the track and drag the machine like I did with that track broken tube, and get it up on flat ground where it's easier to work on. So now the other one came off. Not completely, but it looks like this is where I'm going to at least get that one back on. I wanted to get it a little bit flatter ground. Well, I go get my tools and grease gun. Make it happen. took about an hour to get both tracks back on. Of course, the one that didn't come completely off was pretty easy. Yeah, the trick to it is to make sure that that idler is retracted all the way, you know, make sure all the grease is out that compresses it. And don't lift it off the ground very high. You know, just lift it off of the ground a couple inches so it doesn't have a lot of slack in it. And it goes right on there pretty easy with a pry bar. Well, I'm concentrating on just this little hole right now. I'm not going to dig back anymore to make my ramp any less steep. I'm just going to use where I'm sitting with the machine as my landing point and just try to dig down as far as I can. I'm going to quit a little earlier than dark today because this is the last day. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to get rounded up and cleaned up. Oh yeah, that's much better. Didn't seem to do anything at all. So I'm going to get down, I don't know, probably another 3 feet at least. Well, this added quite a bit of water to the pond. I'm happy about that. Of course, I didn't get to see if I can keep going through this layers of rock this way or if it turns into solid rock. There's definitely moisture down here though. Let's go take a look. Let's see all these layers of rock here. It's layer after layer after layer. Yeah, there's definitely some water in this clay right here in between the layers of rock. Now you can see that layer right there goes up and then it turns and goes horizontal. Yeah, the layers of rock, you never know what direction they're going here. There's definitely moisture down here though, that's a good sign. Yeah, definitely moisture. Well, let me keep going. About 12'6" from the level point on the side here. It'll have about 13 foot of water in when the pond's completely full. Yeah, if I had more time, I'd get that jackhammer and try to soften it up, see how easy it comes out with that. No time left. Still a little bit of moisture even down here. Fill it in the soil. Not a whole bunch, but there's something down here. Yeah, there's a lot of layers of rocks. That's all it is rock. Layer after layer after layer. But I guess I'm going to clean up what's left down in here and then pull all the spools up out of what will be the water line of the pond. And I think it's going to be it for equipment work today and for this trip. I'll throw this little bit of honey mesquite cuttings over there in my compost pile. Put the thumb down on the bucket to grab it. It's nice to have a thumb, I'll tell you. Well, I didn't make it down where I wanted to, but I'm pretty happy with 12.5 foot deep on the pond right there. You know, I was expecting that I wasn't going to be able to get 25 feet in every location. But as long as I have a few pockets that are 25 feet, I'll feel pretty comfortable, you know, with that amount of water. But if I can get most of it down to 12.5 feet, that'll be a lot of water. It's about that one deep pocket I have over there. You know, from natural grade it was 17 feet down, but once I cut it down, it's probably around 14 feet, 13 feet, 13, 14, something like that. And I've only seen it dry once in the past 2 years, but I dug it out some more. You know, it had a bunch of silt that settled in there. That was all that good topsoil that I pulled out and dried and put up there on my topsoil pile. So I think it'll be good at that depth right there. I can get through that. I have to break the jackhammer out, and it's kind of a pain to put on the machine. So if I had a big area I was wanting to go through, you know, maybe spend the whole day doing it, it'd be worth it. But just to hit a little spot and then change it back to the bucket to get the spoils out, that wouldn't make sense. So now, you know, when this pond's completely full, it's going to have 10 inches over the top of this level area. and it had moisture all the way down, even way down there. So I feel pretty safe going ahead and planting these other nut trees along this edge. Those 9 of them I was going to plant. Everywhere you see one of those stakes right there. Yeah, that's a good bit of extra water added to the pond on this. All this area is going to be underwater too, all the way out to right in there. Yeah, it's a good bit of water. I probably got, let's go up on top of the dirt pile. And I probably got 4 days of sorting and hauling to get this pile out of here. It's a lot of spoils. Doesn't seem like this is enough. You know, this amount would have came out of that hole over there, but it sure did. Of course, I took that section down too, about another 18 inches. Let's go down inside the freshly excavated hole. There's not a bunch of moisture, but there's definitely moisture down here. Even in this little deepest pocket. You can feel a little bit of moisture in there. And you can see it binding together. Just look at all those layers of rock. This is clay. Fairly dry clay, but that's clay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 layers of rock right there. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this one. I got a bunch of stuff to gather up for the trip home. I'll see you on the next one.